Hey guys, it's your boy aijalonwallace. Welcome back to the channel. I know I've been away, but we're about to make a lot of new videos this year. So we're going to start off talking about the difference between a sourcer and a recruiter. So I'm going to explain this to you because a lot of people who are probably thinking about getting into recruitment or interviewing for recruitment roles, it is good that you understand the differences between the two. So when I got into recruitment, I actually didn't know. I just interviewed for a recruitment consultant role. It actually was a 360 role compared to a 180 role. So often when you see a sourcer position, a sourcer is someone who specializes in mostly just finding candidates for the jobs that they're giving. So a sourcer does not have to do much when it comes to finding clients, doing business development. All you have to do as a sourcer is find candidates and talk to candidates, source them, qualify them for questions, and get them over to the recruiter or the recruitment manager, whoever you're pretty much assisting with those jobs. So that's ideally what a sourcer is. A sourcer is usually doing what, the 180 compared to the whole 360. Often when you see a recruiter and sourcer, if they are working together, the recruiter job would be to handle the account management and the business development and bringing on clients, as the sourcer will continue to focus on finding candidates for that recruiter. Sometimes we have recruiters who work full 360 roles where they do both the recruitment and the sourcing, okay? So let's talk about sourcing real quick. I guess, like, what are the advantages and the disadvantages of being a sourcer? So advantage of being a sourcer is if you are someone that likes to headhunt, that likes to hunt, like if you're a hunter, I was a hunter growing up. I love to source. I love to talk to candidates every day. I love to help people find new jobs. I just loved it. It was easy. It was cool. Now, disadvantages is sometimes it may not be as lucrative as being a recruiter. The commission structures may be somewhat different. The bonuses, and most importantly, the salary is very different compared to what a recruiter may make, but the advantage is, starting off as a sourcer, it helps you develop your skills and move up to that recruitment consultant position, potentially to a full 360 role, or potentially to being a recruiter and having your own sourcer work under you to assist you with your jobs. Being that you have that prior experience, you're going to be able to help train your future sourcer and guide them on how you like to source candidates. And what you have to understand, everyone has a special way of sourcing. We all have our own different strategies. Recruitment is universal. There's so many ways to go about sourcing when you're trying to, find candidates. Besides just the typical using LinkedIn, there are a lot of ways where you have to think outside the box. So I guess I would say these are somewhat the advantages and disadvantages of being a sourcer. Now, the great thing, as always, with everything going on in the world, you're starting to see a lot more remote roles. And that makes it even much better because as a sourcer and having a remote position, all you're tasked with, if I could be honest, is finding people. So if you were working a remote job and you were able to, submit your candidates by the end of the day, you honestly wouldn't really be tied to a desk like a recruiter would. So if you're able to if you got 5 jobs and you need to get 1 resume or 2 resumes before the day end, if you were able to, hit your KPI, you don't have to really stick around. The great thing about being a sourcer is that jobs are being provided to you, and depending on the demand or how many jobs you have or potentially the situation you got going on, you're able really to have a lot more freedom if you're working remotely compared to working in the office. Being a sourcer, the great thing about being a sourcer is that you're really going to build a network. And it's really great because if you ever want to start your own agency one day, you're going to have a long pipeline, a strong network. People are going to know your name in your market or in the city you're based in. And it's really going to open up a lot of doors for you when you get out there and start your own agency, eventually. Now, as a recruiter, your job is you're tasked with finding clients, doing the business development. Sometimes you may have a 360 role. Often you don't see that many recruiters, new recruiters start off with sourcers. Often, usually after 2 to 3 years, depending on a person's billing and their performance, they usually would get assigned a sourcer if their demand of work is starting to pick up. That's usually when you often see people get sources, or if they're a manager of a recruitment team. And potentially you often see sources as well come into a lot of recruitment agencies if they have like large clients, like giants like Walmart or, you know, CVS or Amazon, and you may need a couple of sources in your office to work on those jobs. And those can be what we call recruitment high volume roles. High volume roles is jobs like, you know, Walmart, Kmart, Target, you know, and etc. You know, advantages and disadvantages of being a recruiter. You know, being a recruiter, your commission is going to be higher. You're a full-time entrepreneur. You have a lot more control of how you go about your day. But at the end of the day, it is a sales job. It is, you know, it is about making that coin and making that dollar. And you want to be making sure that, you know, if you do have a sourcer, that you're guiding them, you're training them, you're supporting them, and you look out for them as well. When I was a recruiter, you know, and I had a sourcer's assisting me, I would buy my sourcers lunches. I would take them out because they were responsible for me making more money. So, you know, if your sourcer is, you know, making you a lot of money, take care of them, buy them drinks, pay for things. You guys are now in the same salary bracket, now in the same commission bracket. And that person, in all honesty, the sourcer is the one busting their ass. Yes, you need the jobs, you know, yeah, you need the jobs in order to, you know, find, you know, to have the candidates, but it's a lot of work. It's more work to source than it is to find clients. It's easy to find clients compared to sourcing, and especially depending on how niche you are and how rare it is to find your job. But for the most part, look out for your sourcers because they're the ones that are going to be working while you're sleeping or while you're outside of the office. And making sure that you're gonna, you know, that you're gonna hit your goal and hit your quota at the end of the day. But it is important to train your sources as well. As a recruiter, you know, the sky's the limit. You know, when you are bringing on new clients, doing business development, you can also assist with your sources as well and help out. You don't have to sit around. Sometimes you have recruiters who just solely focus on bringing more jobs, and they don't usually help out their sources to try to speed up the process. But sometimes if you know that you're 2 cents or you can do it faster, it doesn't matter. You know, at the end of the day, it's about getting the placement and teamwork compared to, it's your job to just do this. I'm not gonna help or assist you with it, or you should be already trained, or you should already know everything. No one knows everything. Someone can always be taught something new in this space. And that's one thing you have to realize. But people who are watching this video who are potentially interviewing for recruitment and sourcer roles, one thing I will say, look, if you like to headhunt, if you like to talk to candidates, you want to help people get jobs, and you want to be on the phones a lot all day, well, I would add, you know, if you are interviewing for jobs, try to position yourself as a sourcer. And as a recruiter, if you're someone, you know, you're not afraid to cold call, you're not afraid to do BD, call people up and try to bring on new clients, then you may like the recruitment side more. So sometimes when you're interviewing at a recruitment agency, sometimes even if the role is a recruitment consultant position, you can ask and see like, hey, is it possible to make this a sourcer role, or do I have to be a 360 recruiter? Because I'm more passionate about this. And, you know, often, if I could be honest, recruitment has 80%, almost an 80% turnover rate. You know, like, it's really crazy. Most people who get into our world don't last. So, but that's because I personally feel like we never ask the right questions like, well, you know, what are you more passionate about? Do you like the cold call? Do you like to get on the phone, try to bring on people, trying to close deals? Are you persuasive, or do you want to help someone, you know, feed their family, help someone get a job, walk them, coach them, teach them, train them, you know, and you know, and that's right there. Having conversations like that sometimes can, you know, help reduce retention and help people stay in their jobs longer, you know, with their agencies, you know, because because we're not asking the right questions starting off. And, you know, for the most part, there are a lot of other roles to go from, but being a sourcer, you know, when you become really good, you know, there are companies like Facebook, Google, I know paying anywhere from the $150,000 to $200,000 a year, you know, especially if you're really good, if you know how to think outside the box, you know how to find really good candidates in the IT, technical, sales space. Opportunities could be endless for you. And the great thing about recruitment, being a recruiter or a sourcer, you guys know it's universal. You can work anywhere in the world. There's always going to be a recruitment job somewhere in the world. And most importantly, when you get to a level and confident enough, you can start your own agency. I do teach people how to start their own recruitment agency. I have links down below. You can check out my free training, my master class, and also just check out the website of some of my students that I've helped grow their staffing and recruiting agencies as well. But look, if you like this video, comment below, hit that like button. Let me know if you want to see more content like this. I can't wait to talk to you soon.